Good afternoon. I welcome you all to this gathering at the United Nations where we commemorate a year since the tragic events of October 7. Today, we gather to remember, to honor, and to stand united in the face of this darkest chapter. I would like to extend my deepest thanks to U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, distinguished ambassadors, UN officials, Israel's Consul General, and Jewish community leaders for joining us here today. October 7th was not just another dark day in Jewish history. It was our worst nightmare come to life. On that day, evil didn't knock at our door, it broke it down. Terrorists stormed our land, massacring, raping, and kidnapping our brothers and sisters. They showed no mercy. They butchered men, women, and children. Entire families, shattering lives, and tearing apart our communities in the most brutal and unimaginable ways. It was a day that tested our very existence, a day that seared itself into the collective soul of our people. The shockwaves of that day were felt around the world. Jewish communities across the globe felt our suffering, the pain of seeing their brothers and sisters brutalized. It was a moment that shook us all to our deepest core, but it was also a moment that revealed something deeper, the strengths we carry and the resilience of our people. Our hearts break for the victims, for the brave soldiers who gave their lives to defend us, for the families who have been torn apart, and for the 101 innocent souls still held in the terror tunnels of Gaza. They are more than just hostages. They are mothers, fathers, sons and daughters whose lives have been stolen. Their absence is felt every day by their families, their loved ones, and by every one of us. To the hostages and their families, we say this: you are not forgotten. Every day, every moment, we carry you with us. We will never stop fighting for you. We will never stop until every last one of you is back home. Your names, your faces, your stories are forever etched into our hearts, and we will make sure the world cannot look away. No matter how long it takes, no matter how difficult the road, we will bring you back. This is our promise, and we will not rest until it is fulfilled. From that day of horror, we rise. We rise from the ashes and from our grief. We gather strength, because that is who we are. In the face of the worst kind of evil, we do not fall apart. We come together, we fight back. Our enemies believe that they can destroy us through brutal pain and suffering. They believe that if they cause enough grief, tear apart enough families, and take enough innocent lives, we would crumble under the weight of that pain. But they are wrong. What they don't realize is that the very pain they have inflicted revealed our enormous strength, a strength that we had no other choice but to find. Every tear shed for a loved one lost, every moment of grief, and every wound imposed on our people has not broken us. It has forced us to fortify our spirit like never before. We stand here today in the United Nations, an institution that has failed us time and time again. When the massacre of October 7 unfolded, the UN refused to act. It could not find the most basic morality to condemn the brutal murder of innocent civilians. It could not bring itself to call out the atrocities for what they were. Instead of standing with the innocent, this institution remained silent. And when it finally found its voice, it did not speak for justice. It chose to vilify the country fighting to protect its people. from the monsters who massacred them. The UN has failed in its most basic mandate to protect the innocent and condemn evil. The resolutions that the UN did pass were about the situation in Gaza. Believe me, we have no desire to be in Gaza. I am telling you that from personal experience. My late father, Joseph Dannone, a hero who gave his life for the nation, fought in Gaza during the Six-Day War. I myself patrolled the streets of Gaza in the Gulf War in the early 90s, and my eldest son has been serving in the Gaza Brigade since October 7. This war was forced upon us, yet we are willing to pay the price. We are willing to do what we must. Regardless of the condemnations, regardless of the bias, Israel will achieve its goals. We will bring our hostages home. We will defeat those who seek our destruction. 70 years ago, the UN voted for the Jewish people to have a state, a homeland. For when the day came, we would have the strength to stand up and push back against those who seek our destruction. That day has come, and that is exactly what we intend to do. The days when the Jewish people were at the mercy of tyrants are over. The days when we had to rely on foreign powers to protect us are over. The difference between the past and today is very simple. Now we are not defenseless. Today, the Jewish people have a strong state, a powerful military, and the courage to protect ourselves. We are the Lions of Judah, and we will defend our people with all the strength and righteous fury we have. From the soldiers on the front lines to Jewish communities across the world, we stand in solidarity and take to the streets. We stand as one people, united in purpose and might, now and forever. Am Israel Chai.